returning. And those of you that are new, welcome to this platform. My name is Astraea Love, and I am the Psychic Tarot Angel Oracle. I'm going to be doing a reading for you guys today. So unfortunately, I did have some issues just with, I don't want to really go into it again, but usually I have my Cash App and PayPal in the description box below, but I was having some issues with people sending really hexes and shit like that. So I don't have that information in the description box below anymore. But so on this platform, until it gets monetized and I can accept super chats, I'm just gonna have to do the reading the way that it is. Okay, so sorry about that. But my other platform, Astraea Love, Astraea, if you guys have any personal questions, you can go over, and LOVE, second word, Astraea Love. You can go over to that platform, and on that platform, subscribe, tap the notification bell. You'll be notified when I go live so that you can send a super chat and ask a question. Okay? All right. So we are calling upon the Most High God and the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, the Ascended Masters, our spiritual team of highest light and resonance, including our guardian angels and all of our spiritual team of highest light and resonance, the archangels, and all of our spirit guides and spirit companions. And we just ask that God and all of that, please continue to prosper this platform. Please help us get monetized. Please continue to grow this community. Please continue to protect us. We are so grateful and thankful for everything that's already been done. Higher self, higher power. We love you. We love you. We love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And again, all glory, honor, worship, and praise goes to my higher self, the Most High, okay, for everything that I'm able to do. So I wouldn't be able to do anything that I'm doing without God animating my body and consciousness. So give credit where credit is due. Thank you for my life, God. Thank you for protecting my collective. Thank you for my subscribers, and thank you for blessing all the people that you bless. Amen. Okay, so by watching my readings, you are agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. Please be on your best behavior because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my readings, you're agreeing to not attack, bully, or persecute me or anybody in the comment or anybody in the chats. Chats or comment, whatever, all of it. It'll just get you blocked and removed from the platform. Okay, everybody's allowed to have their own opinion, but what's not allowed on this platform is religious condemning, judging. All of that goes against the Bible anyways, and most of the holy books are against judging other people and trying to persecute them and bully them. But, you know, I am fairly forgiving, you know, for people that are going through it, that are in religious psychosis. Okay. So if you feel like anything resonates in the reading, just be responsible with the energy. If I talk about anything in the realms of health, follow up with the doctor. If I talk about anything in the realm of legal, follow up with the lawyer, that type of thing. And please don't spam the chat with your guys' questions, okay? I'm not answering questions for free, not at this time. And again, because I was having issues with people asking for my financial details so that they could fucking curse it, I've taken away the privilege to ask questions, but I am in the process of getting this channel monetized and able to receive super chats. So just know that that is a work in progress. So before we get into the reading, we're going to talk about two books. Both of these books are life-changing. The first book is The Truth of God. It's an advanced intuitive living workbook. And this book is freaking awesome. It has so many different techniques within it. And I use these techniques every day. In fact, you'll see me use them while I'm doing the reading. The first technique is the God technique, which raises you out of the frequency of your little self, which is your ego, to looking out through the eyes of God, source, which is complete shift in consciousness. And it helps you heal. It helps you, for me, I rise above things. That's how I'm able to rise above it. First, I rise above it by connecting with God and raising my consciousness and rising above it energetically and frequency wise. Then I use the joy versus anger technique, which is a yes and no answering system with your higher self God. So you can be asking questions and getting immediate answers so that you're not being misled, confused, having to wait for a sign or a signal, thinking that God is outside of you, all of that stuff. And the joy versus anger technique works on clairsentience, which is the gift that everybody has. There's so much other stuff in this book though, but I'm just telling you the ones that you'll see me use Also, the mind technique is getting rid of thoughts and beliefs and emotional and mental baggage that you're carrying around with you that you don't need to be carrying around. There's also something in this book called the preemptive strike, where you go through all of your belief systems and then you use the mind technique and you squash it and you get rid of that. Again, the sun's going to come up tomorrow, whether you believe it is or not. So you could stop believing that the sun's going to come up and it's going to come up tomorrow. You do not have to be psychic to use this book. Also, when you see me use the 1 to 10 ratio, 1 being the lowest compatible, 10 being the highest compatible, that's coming out of this book. And then I'll ask more questions. But check this book out, you guys. It's going to change your life. It's going to give you a real connection, an inner connection with your higher self, God. This is a purchase that is not expensive. And it will last you, if you get a hard copy of it, it will last you a lifetime and you will use it. I'm serious. I use the techniques in that book and I go through all of the different chapters, teach you about everything when it comes to your higher self. So the second book that I'm going to talk about is the book that I've written. It's called Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. And I didn't write this book by myself. I wrote it with the Ars Goetia spirit Vassago, who maps human consciousness and works with divination, specifically the original Rider-Waite Tarot. So I didn't have anybody to teach me how to read cards. I first started off just reading people face to face. Then I started with pieces of paper. I would write things down. And then eventually I got to cards, but it was tarot cards. It was like oracle cards. And then later on to tarot, and it was not the original Rider-Waite. I have the link to this exact deck that's got the description on the cards, the original Rider-Waite. If you learn these cards, you can go to any specialty deck like this Twin Flame deck. And when they give you abstract pictures with the name of the card, you'll know what the card means because you know the original. So yeah, for those of you that do want to learn. And this book is going to teach you how to read cards for yourself and for other people. So you could use this book, like let's say that you're wanting to draw love into your life. You could go to the love tarot card spread. So we created, God, the Holy Spirit, Vassago, and I, we created a book that is going to help you. It starts off with an initiation with Vassago and a prayer. The prayer is a lot longer than the one I do on here, but it follows the same format, okay? But yeah, it goes into depth, praying for you and for whoever you're reading for, if you're reading for someone. And then by you connecting with Vassago, it opens you up to any intuitive guidance that, you know, he will teach you, because that's, again, he maps human consciousness. The way that tarot maps human consciousness is that you, while being a human, will experience every single card in this deck at some point. That is how it maps the past, present, and future. So yeah, this book starts off with the 14 Zodiac Tarot card spread, where you pull 2 cards for each position. One card will be your South Node, where your ego's at. The other card will be your North Node, where your destiny's at. And then it gives you information about how to step into your power and get into your destiny with each of the Zodiac signs. And I've written a 14 Zodiac, not a 12, because they should have included Ophiuchus, which is from November 29th to December 18th. And they should have included also Cetus, which is confirmation, May 21st to May 28th. Okay. And these spells are designed for you. They're not designed for you to do them with anybody else other than you and God. So it's not like you can even use this stuff in a bad way, because it's not designed that way. Okay, I guess we'll read, since I have the Fool right here. So we've created different tarot card spreads for each of the major arcana cards. The major arcana cards, you can divide the tarot deck into 2 sections. One section is the major arcana cards. That's the major transitions: the Death, the Lovers, the Wheel of Fortune, the Fool, the Hangman. Okay, all of those are major arcana cards. Emperor, Empress, those are the highest ranking female and masculine cards in the deck. And they encompass every single, when you pull the Empress is the combination of every single one of the queens combined. So like she is all of that and more. Okay. And then same thing with the Emperor. It's all pages and kings, all of that. Pages are usually children. So I'm going to read just a little bit from the Fool tarot card spread to give you an idea of how this works. So The Fool is the number 0. The answer is yes, and the zodiac sign is Aquarius and Virgo. The Fool's journey is unpredictable, open, spontaneous, adventurous, a free spirit, and a dreamer. The Fool is free of responsibility by choice and does not like restrictions. The Fool has the soul of an entrepreneur. This card signifies the start of a new phase of life and of new beginnings. The Fool is on the journey to find his or her destiny. Being led to the edge of a cliff, the Fool is not worried because he/she knows that the universe orders the Fool's steps. The Fool walks forward, on faith towards an auspicious future outcome because the Fool trusts in his/her own ideas no matter what others may say. So you'll shuffle the entire deck. You'll pull one card for each position. Position 1 is the Fool. The card that you pull for this position will reveal to you insight into your own spiritual journey. If there are any new beginnings happening in your life, that may be revealed to you with the card that you pull for this position. If you have any naiveness within you that is blocking your path, that may also come through the card that you pull. This position may show to you the parts of your path that may be dangerous. Are you paving the road to hell with your good intentions? Is there anyone on your path that you now cannot take with you to your future? You have been investing in have you been investing in 4 different types of foolishness? 1 being the blind man, 2 being the man in denial, 3 being the unintelligible man, and 4 being the sarcastic man. All foolishness will be unveiled in the card that is pulled for this position. Position 2 is the Joker. A lot of the time, the Joker can bring humor to a tense situation. Other times, the Joker can show us how the joke really is on us when we go against ourselves by downplaying our knowledge and life lessons. By making a jest out of our pain, we are able to transmute stagnant energies that are being held onto. We can create humor to surround the major themes of our lives. Why am I being shown Jim Carrey in my mind? Is he dead? What the hell's going on? I'm literally seeing him in my mind's eye, and I'm like, okay, get out of here. I'm trying to read. Also, I'm feeling like this other actor as well that actually is not here anymore. So we can create humor to surround the major themes of our lives. This position will reveal to you how in tune you are with your Joker side. A Joker can be someone who brings joy, laughter, and fun. Within the card that you pull for this position, you will see how comedy is affecting your life. If anyone has been playing jokes on you, that may come through the card that's pulled for this position as well. You know who I was seeing? The actor that played Mrs. Doubtfire. And I'm spacing his name right now. Who was the actor that played Mrs. Doubtfire?
Mrs. Doubtfire has a cast of more than 60 actors. Here are the first.
Okay, Robin Williams. Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't remembering his name, but I was picturing him. Okay, so the spell that goes along with the Fool card. So basically, after you do the tarot card spread to find out the information about yourself, then you do the tarot card spell so that you can manifest. The objective is to evoke Iwas, the great fool of Celtic legends, whose insane words have been taken for oracles and prophecies. And so the prayer that you will say, you'll do a little ritual. I evoke and invoke the divine fool's presence and magic to become this card incarnate to take over and inhabit thee from this magic spell. I invoke and evoke Iwas, the energies of the divine fool, into this magical bag. So you're making like a protection bag to eliminate foolishness in my life. That's the purpose of that. So for each of the major arcana cards, there's going to be a spell that helps you manifest and integrate the energies of the major arcana cards. You can do these tarot card spreads and spells as many times as you want for yourself and for other people. And like I said, if you're wanting to like know about money, you could go straight to the Wheel of Fortune tarot card spread. You don't have to do it in order. I think people probably should, but they don't have to. You could, if you're wanting to know if you're a star or not, you go straight to the star. So again, this book is going to help you guys. In the back of the book, also, I have a compendium of knowledge of what it could mean when you have more than one of the major arcana cards coming out next to each other. So I'm going to read a little bit from the Fool because that's what we were just talking about. It says, when you pull the Fool tarot card, it could mean that either you or the person that you're reading for is about to go on a spiritual journey through the process of spiritual awakening. It can also be interpreted as someone who is unaware of themselves. They could be acting foolish. The Fool stands at the edge of the cliff but does not fall off because the Fool has allowed the Most High and the universe to order his steps. When the Fool comes out before the Lover's tarot card, it could imply that someone is falling head over heels foolishly in love with another person. When the Fool comes out before the Death tarot card, it could show you that someone's foolishness could literally kill them or bring about endings for them. If the Fool comes out before or after the World card, it could mean that someone is leading the world in a foolish way. When the Fool comes out before or after the Hangman tarot card, it means that the person in question is self-sabotaging their life for foolish reasons. If the Fool comes out before or after the Chariot tarot card, it translates to someone fooling or attempting to trick or deceive the authorities or police in some type of way. When the Fool comes out before the Last Judgment tarot card, it means that one's foolish behavior has led them to being up under serious judgment from the Most High God. And then it keeps going on and on. I'm not going to read all of it. I want you guys to get this book, okay? Check it out. Both of the links to these books and to this deck of cards is all in the description box below. And it's going to be life-changing for you. Life-changing. Again, I didn't have anybody to teach me how to read cards. I literally had to work 100% with spirit. And then now that I know about the tarot, I really, really like the original Rider-Waite. On this platform, we use like more oracle cards and tarot cards. So let's just see what we're going to be guided to today. Because my message for you is that somebody is aware that you can see right through them. Okay, so it's like, I've got so many freaking decks that have, some of them have fallen. What is this? Okay. Really? The Witch's Tarot and Dark Confessions. I'm like, I don't even want to know the Dark Confessions. We're going to figure it out, though. There's some decks that I have that are like perfect, but I don't use them very often because it's just not as like, I would rather read high vibrational energy. Obviously, I don't get to choose what the energy is or what the message is, but you know, that's part of being obedient and listening to yourself. There are feelings of anger inside me that I need to release before I explode. This is one way that this person feels towards you. Because they know, okay, it's like they know that you know about them. That they're really a witch, a warlock, a fake, a fraud, a liar, a thief, a destiny swapper, a kidnapper, I don't even want to say the word terrorist. You know something about this person and they know that you know, and they are very upset. And that's the energy that's coming through. I'm finally seeing my worth, yet I still feel unworthy of your love. This person, they are unworthy of your love. And they're not just feeling it, they actually are. And I think that you should love everything unconditionally, but give your precious, give your love that is precious to you to somebody who is worthy of it. Like yourself, okay? That's where I would first start. Because the key to receiving love in every situation is to love the self. That is the answer. You can ask Aphrodite, you can ask Venus, you can ask any Cupid, any love deity. The answer to how to get other people to want to love you is by loving yourself. That's the answer, okay? Because think about it this way. If you can fall in love with yourself, what would be the blockage for anybody else? Why would there be a blockage? And unconditional love means it's the love that you give, you know, hopefully that you give a sibling, a mother, a father, somebody in your family. It's you may not be happy with everything they think, say, and do all of the time, a child, but you love them anyways. That's the love that you give yourself, okay? And because I understand if some people are like, oh, I don't like what I see in the mirror. There are things that I don't like sometimes about what I'm perceiving, but I know that I love myself anyways. And so in general, it's going to work out. And that's me putting 10 toes down on it's going to work out because I love myself. I know that my higher self, God, all of that I am considering myself, I know that I love myself, and not in a narcissistic way, in a healthy and an unconditional way, and it's finding peace with where you're at. This person has no peace with their life. Like nothing about their life makes them happy or gives them peace. And so when you're dealing with those types of people, you just have to love yourself enough to say no and be okay with saying no, not be guilt tripped. I feel, dude, unworthy comes out twice in a row. This person says, I feel unworthy of having love in my life. I feel miserable and lost. I wonder if this person's going to end up seeing this reading. I don't know. But it feels to me like if love has to be forced, then it's not real. If it has to be manipulated with a magic spell or what, and it's okay to attract love in. It's okay to love yourself, but it's not okay to fuck with people's free will. That's just like in general, a universal law. If God gave everybody free will, respect that. Don't put yourself in positions to where, and I know you guys are not doing this, but don't put yourself in positions to where you are wanting to force something that's not for your highest and best good because you think that's what you want. Because a lot of you guys will end up finding out that it is not what you want and it's not what you need either. And you could avoid a lot of disasters and a lot of trauma just by using the techniques and the truth of God and asking questions. It says, I don't feel guilty for how I treated you. My ego is too big to care. What did I say about this person wanting you to feel guilty? They're banking on you, like, guilty for what? Loving yourself? This is what I'm saying. When you're dealing with people that do not love themselves, it's going to be hard to show them any love, especially when they're being like, it's actually a tapestry, but thank you. But yeah, especially when they're just being, I would say a butthead. This is just foolishness. No one else makes me feel the way that you do, but I'll take it to the grave before I tell you. This person's never going to tell you that they have feelings for you. So why are they even here then, God? Why are they showing up in the reading? Why is this the reading? Can you explain to me what the collective needs to know about? You're dealing with somebody that's extremely stubborn. I'm afraid that your feelings for me not mutual. This person, well, what I'm getting is that they're trying to force something. If you have somebody that's trying to force their love on you or force you to love them or whatever, this amount of unreasonable force, again, when love is natural and organic, it is not forced. It's not faked. It's not manipulated. It's not witchcraft. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I personally do not believe I do not believe in doing spells on other people. I really don't, especially whatever type of spells that these people do. It's not like they're like, oh, let's manifest with God and the Holy Spirit and do something for our highest and best good, because that's not that's not where they're coming from. They're coming from, how can I manipulate the world around me so that this person can give me their attention, their affection, let me play with their boobies, their butt, whatever this is. And I can have what I want. That's what their mentality is. They're not thinking about, oh, how do my actions affect others? How does me being a total snake person, okay? How does me being a slithering fucking snake affect other people? This person does not care about others. Would be like the worst person to have a child with, because they are a psychopath. They don't have the ability mentally within themselves to care about other people. That there is something psychologically wrong there. Yeah, I need to free myself from fear and doubts. I'm a caged bird. Like I said, this person's delusions. I have lost all control of my life. I keep messing up. This person knows that every single mistake that they've made, they knew that it was a mistake. But have they changed their ways? No, they're not sorry. This person's a sorry motherfucker, but they're not actually sorry, not for what they were trying to do to you, which is trick you into some type of love relationship. No, it's not happening. I also get that, like, if this was somebody wanting you to invest in their business or invest with them and going into business with them, this person has tried to deceive you to make you think that they have something for you that they can offer you. Like, and this is not like a publishing company. This is like the fucking music industry or something. I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly that, but it could be that. It could be, they want you, whoever the theys are, want you under their spell, under their control, under their domination, and, so that they can play with you. I mean, it's what's really about. Getting down, doing whatever they want you to bust them down, whatever the fuck they want. Like, I'm serious. And you're not that type of person to just randomly go share your energy with others. And these people know it. And it's like, it gives me the energy of like lusting over a virgin type shit, which is pedophilia most of the time. And that's not cool and disgusting. But, you know, some cultures think that shit's acceptable. I personally think that it's probably one of the most offensive things that could ever be done. That's why it's associated with the devil, even though the devil doesn't fuck with that type of thing. So I feel like you're keeping yourself safe. You're never having children with this weirdo. Okay? So please don't spam the chat with your questions, you guys. I will be getting this channel monetized soon, but my other platform, Astraea Love, ASTRAEA LOVE, that would be the platform to ask your question on, and send a $20 super chat with your question, okay? Eventually on this platform, when we get to where we can do super chats, I will do the same thing. But right now, because people were cursing and hexing and sending bullshit energy, I don't want to have to deal with that. So this is, you know, it is what it is for right now. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. 3 of Cups. Look at this. You guys are having a harvest. Look at those beautiful, what are those, lupins in the back? Those big flowers. This is like springtime, beauty, energy, you coming together with people, you having a celebration. You know, I'm seeing like the fairies from Maleficent type energy, you getting a blessing. I'm also seeing these people like being bridesmaids. So there could be a few different situations that are occurring right now that are changing. It's a massive change. This harvest could be part of you actually getting the rewards for your hard work. Somebody is completely misjudging you, and they're not understanding that even on your worst day, you would never ever agree to whatever this is that they want, okay? And there's nothing that they can do about you having real friends and real relationships and moving forward. Like, what? There's nothing that they can do about that. And also, they're not invited. I feel like, you know, Maleficent, she's not invited. That's why she gets so pissed off. If you guys know about the Brothers Grimm, the real original story, the reason that they didn't invite that other fairy wasn't because Maleficent was evil, but it was because they didn't have an extra set of plates and cups. I'm not even joking. That's why they didn't invite her. But also in that fairy tale, the Brothers Grimm version, which is the original version of it before it goes into Disney and they water it down and make it acceptable for children. In the original, the fairy not being invited in their world, that's like a very bad crime that somebody has to punish another person for. And so that's what their laws in that world. So that's why Maleficent had to do that. And it's just funny because she does the whole thing of pricking the finger. You know, she will fall, whatever she says, like she will fall into a deep sleep after pricking her finger on a spinning wheel. And then she's like, the spell will be broken when she receives true love's kiss. And Maleficent in that moment does not believe in true love. Like, that's setting the girl up to be asleep or dead or whatever it is, you know, suspended and whatever forever. Because in Maleficent's mind, true love's kiss does not exist, right? But then she ends up, that's probably the whole story of Maleficent. She ends up finding out that it does exist and it is real because the princess gets awakened. And in the cartoon, they make Maleficent like green and real mean looking and stuff like that. I really like that version, but I really like the new version that Disney did that showed her side of the story. I thought that was also really good. I just like Maleficent all around, everything about that story. But yeah, the Brothers Grimm, there's a few versions of it, like, because how these stories come about is they're folk tales. So they come from a certain region in the world, and then after time they keep getting told and they start to combine. And so you'll have parts of one story over here, one story over here, it combines, and then it creates a modern day fairy tale. And then Disney tones it down, takes all the cannibalism out and all of the other stuff that are like real life world fears for people back in the day. And that's where these folktales come from. Takes all of the stuff that's not child appropriate out. But I will tell you that fairy tales and all of that, that was never initially, the Brothers Grimm never wrote for children. They wrote for adults. All of those stories were meant to be for adults to pass down the tradition of storytelling. They were never meant to be read to children. People just read them to their children because that's one book that they had. So anyways, a little history on that so that you get a bigger picture of fairy tales. The originals are so much more disturbing. Oh my gosh. 10 of Swords. So somebody is feeling like they're done for. I mean, and with the owl and the spooky tree and everything, and with this one flower growing, like this is just showing me that this person being in the 10 of Swords, feeling like a martyr or victim or whatever, they did this to themselves. All because you have grown something pretty here. Why would anybody even be upset knowing that nature is just going to balance itself out when it does? You know what I mean? This person is trying to do something against nature and against, I'm hearing the she. Maybe you have the she or whatever it's a group of fairies. They're like badass warrior fairies. But yeah, you have a group of fairies. That's why I was getting those 3 fairies that bless the baby at the beginning with this 3 of Cups energy coming together for you. So you're very blessed. Somebody could have wanted to 10 of Swords you for that. Kind of the same storyline, only you're not in the 10 of Swords. They are. And they're thinking now all of a sudden that because you are successful, it's because of something they did. This person is not directly related to your success or to your failures. You are. This is why I don't understand why they are questioning why you're blessed. The hell is wrong with them? The Chariot. They could have been, this person could be literally being chased by the police. What a freaking weirdo. Take several seats. I also get that this person does not want the police or a higher authority to 10 of Swords them, to put them, okay, well, if this is a dangerous person that's doing something bad enough to get them unalive by the police or by the courts or by whatever the execution system is. Again, some states have it, some don't. I'm not totally in tune with that type of shit because I honestly do not believe that killing another person creates justice or makes it right. I would rather know that that person that did something so bad that I would want them unalived, I would rather know that they're not resting in peace and that they're being tormented daily. Like if I was going to be upset like that, you know what I'm saying? But I release shit like that. But me as a person, I would want insurance to know that they're suffering and having to think about what they did forever, not getting a clean slate and going into a reincarnation cycle, and so that they can experience the karma that they're going to get later. You know what I'm saying? People just don't know how to really do things. And I feel like if they would have gone through the correct channels, this person could have had also a 3 of Cups blessing, but because they went through, an illegal system or whatever, maybe they were born into it, whatever it is, yeah, they went against nature and they're getting the effect of that, and it's not a good effect. They're not liking what they're seeing. Death. I actually like the death on this card. It kind of gives me like Ghost Rider on a horse. You know what I mean? You know how Ghost Rider, the Marvel comic, if you know about it, Ghost Rider is so badass. He actually has a motorcycle, but what would be a version of a motorcycle? A horse. The Ghost Rider works for the devil and has to go collect souls whenever the devil says. This person is facing something very serious here with the 10 of Swords, and the Chariot, which is the police, and the Death. What the hell? What were they trying to do to you because you have a harvest? Were they really trying to get the police to unalive you? Like, that is pathetic. And then this person is now going to be put in the 10 of Swords, completely betrayed by the police because of what I can guarantee that people can look at you and see that you're not a threat or that you're not doing anything to harm people. You know, this is not 1745 or whatever, where this shit would be acceptable to just go burn someone's house down. I feel like you're dealing with somebody who is very, very mentally unwell. They need a doctor, they need a therapist, a doctor, and possibly some type of healing along with a lot of other stuff, which is not your problem. 9 of Pentacles, because this person can't stand on their own 2 feet. I actually like the picture on this card, because she's just like, yeah, I like the way that her body is on that. It just gives me a good self-confident feeling. The 9 of Pentacles is like being able to stand on your own 2 feet, not needing to have a man, a woman, institution, this or that. Like when you have God, you have it all. When you don't have God, you obviously don't have everything that you could have, you know? The divine wants good for you guys. You need to understand this. This person doesn't get it. They don't understand that the highest and best good for everyone is positivity. And I'm not saying not to do shadow work. Absolutely do the shadow work. But this person, they're coming from a space of being very unhealed. They don't look into like, oh, that really hurt. Why did I create? They don't want to take responsibility for their own creation. So they're going to allow the police to take the wheel. I mean, that's like literally what I'm getting. They want somebody else to be in charge because making decisions is too much for them. This person shouldn't be making decisions when it comes to another living being or even a plant. I would want somebody else in charge of this person as well. Queen of Pentacles. But they see you over here, you know, with your money, with your cute little dog too, and with these beautiful plants flowering around you, a beautiful landscape. They see you here being abundant and being free, and they're like, well, how come I'm not like that? Why is my energy not good? Why don't people want to be around me? It's like this person is a drain. They drain people of their life force energy. That things that want to stay alive are going to avoid this person. Okay, I'm serious. Anything, because they have death attached to them. Anything that wants to stay alive is going to avoid this person. And that could be men, women, friends, family, all of that. And I just literally was directed over here to my, whatever this is called, evil eye pendant thing. Maybe you need to get one of these evil eye thingies. They're called Turkish blue evil eye pendant, amulet, something like that. Maybe you need to get one of those to block this person's energy. The High Priestess in the reverse, this person, this is how this card just flew out. This person is extremely dark. They're looking at their world through a lens of how they can manipulate and turn things upside down. I feel like this dark High Priestess, whatever they're connected to is not positive, but it's not whatever this person is connected to spiritually that is not positive is not focused on you. It's focused on them. Okay. So you just need to understand that. Also, these cops are about to see that this person is a dark High Priestess. You already see through them. You know that they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing. And it's just like, you know, this person does not believe that you can be successful and do the right thing. They think that you have to hurt others to get what you want, and you don't. 5 of Swords. This person also wants you to be seen by the public in such a way to where people are going to turn away from you, and the exact opposite is happening. Look at that. Look at all those little fairies speaking about Maleficent. And the 5 of Swords there. The 5 of Swords is like, you know, making a lot of bad choices and knowing what the correct answer is, but not choosing it. Like consciously. This person knows that leaving you alone would probably be the best thing to do. There are some people that are more powerful than religion, more powerful than the government, more powerful than everybody else. There's just going to be some people that are like that because they're tapped in. It is what it is. This dark High Priestess, they believe that evil or wickedness or darkness, however you want to look at it, and I'm not labeling darkness as being evil, but They believe that that is more powerful than what is good. And you represent what is good. And it's being clearly shown to this person that evil and darkness and wickedness and witchcraft and whatever the fuck else they're involved in is not more powerful than things that are good, because you're over here with the 3 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles energy. That's proof in itself right there that you doing something positive is what's getting you a positive result. And this person is like, no, I can override that with my negative. No, they can't. Negative is not even real. It's the part of the illusion. They a sandcastle. That's hilarious. Yeah, it's part of the illusion. Anything that this person is not in alignment with higher self, which is unconditional love, joy, compassion, and peace. This person also, it has a heart of stone. They've hardened their heart towards God and toward the rest of the world, which means they don't feel anything. They don't have a heart. Like, this person can't show compassion and mercy because they can't feel anything. Like, I'm serious. They're dead on the inside. That's what it feels like. Death and the High Priestess and the Reverse. And the Fool. And they think, because they're foolish as hell, thinking that this negative stuff is going to override your self-love and the love that God has for you. Yeah. I mean, this person, if they really believe that, they're going to be unsuccessful forever attempting to do it. So this person thinks because they know some spirits that they can just dominate your life, take control over it, and then do whatever the fuck they want. And that's not what's happening. And they keep watching you to see what's going to happen. And no, you could have removed yourself from a situation, from a group of people. You're just ignoring them. And that's what you're supposed to do. You know, just ignore them because they're being foolish. 4 of Wands, focus on your own projects. There's nothing you can do about other people's problems other than you heal yourself. By you healing yourself and you going within, you become an example and you can lead the way for others. If you choose to. You don't have to, though. You can just do it for yourself. But I literally feel like by you doing it for yourself, you are doing it for others, because it makes you an example and it makes you somebody that people would want to follow after because you're doing the right thing. There are people in this world that are good. Not everybody is going to want to be on this dark high priestess shit. And the ones that are dark high priestess in the music industry and the acting is in the entertainment business, they're being exposed. We can see right through them. We can see through all of the fucking glamour magic. I mean, we're not stupid. This is what I don't understand about people that operate in this mindset. They just believe that because they have a little bit of witchcraft knowledge or some type of occult secret, they believe that they can use it on everybody. And then when it backfires, they find out that, nope, that weapon that was forged did not prosper. And this, you would think that this person is like, okay, well, I'll just pick on somebody else then. I'll pick on somebody that my weapons would actually prosper against. You would think that they would choose that, but no, that's too much like right. This person, and that's not even right. Picking on somebody else, that's not right either. But I'm just telling you, you would think somebody that was intelligent would not be so hyper fixated on you. Ace of Swords, because they can't do anything to strip this protection that comes from God. I'm serious. That eagle or hawk or whatever it is that's looking above, that higher perspective, that the eagle represents the higher self. They can't do anything about you being protected or safe, and they can't do anything about your projects prospering or not prospering. This person has found themselves in a situation to where they have drank in their own Kool-Aid, and now they have consequences for whatever actions they tried to take against you, both in the spirit and in the physical. 8 of Cups. And they have to walk away from this foolish behavior before they get put in a mental institution or in jail. Because that's where this person is headed if they don't stop with this dark magic. Now, will everybody that does dark magic go mentally insane and get put in prison? I don't know. But this person is. The 10 of Swords was their first card. That, to me, looks like a personal choice at this point. As a personal choice. And I understand what envy is. I just don't agree. I don't believe that envy greed or jealousy gives anybody the right to hurt others. Okay, I understand it. I just don't agree with it. 7 of Pentacles. This person has to walk away. They were sitting around waiting, like this little mischievous weirdo right here. They were sitting around waiting for something to happen to you because they believed that darkness and evil and bloodshed and whatever is more powerful than the power of God. That's what they believed. Or they didn't believe in the power of God. Whatever they believed in was very dark. And they're still, like I said, this dark high priestess in their reverse has majorly effed up. If they do work for other people, this person's work, all of it, the entirety of their life's work is being undone. And they are very upset about that. Very upset. The power was supposed to transition out of your hands into theirs. Oops. They fumbled you. Page of Wands. This person was also teaching somebody else this darkness and thinking, this could be like a child of theirs, thinking that their child would become some type of, I don't know, really powerful magician. You know, it's pretty evil to try to trick your own child into, like, when you know that the magic is not going to work on somebody and that's going to backfire. It's pretty evil to trick a child into doing something malevolent towards somebody else, knowing when you know that it's going to get them in trouble and backfire on them. That doesn't matter who it is that's trying to do it to you. You are protected. And that's what this person doesn't understand. They think that, oh, if I go get an innocent person, I can trick them into doing work on it. No, it doesn't fucking matter who they go to. You are protected regardless. You're protected in every type of way. They also have false beliefs about you, which means that they don't know the truth about you. They're just scared because they know that you know the truth about them. This person wanted to be the star. They wanted to be the one focused upon. Now they're going to get focused upon in the worst of ways. I wouldn't share anything with this person. Don't tell them your location. Don't tell them where you're going. Don't tell them where you've been. Don't tell them anything. This person does not deserve to have you in their life. And them sitting around waiting for something to transfer from you and your children to theirs, this person is a straight up bum ass loser. They're not going to get anything from this. They're not going to get anything from you. They're not touching this harvest. They can't even make their own harvest. How are they going to take care of yours? This is something that they might want to think about before they do shit like this. Also, you know, this person had every intention of you being destroyed by now and them holding the cup of love from God. If this person really believes that by hurting and harming you that God is going to love them, that is also a delusion. And whatever higher dimensional being that's saying that, which I highly doubt that there's one that's saying that, it's probably this person's own fucked up ass mind. But yeah, they have to walk away from that. They have to walk away from whatever it is that they serve. If they serve Hecate, Hecate is not playing with this person. They're like, yeah, you've royally fucked up and all gifts and abilities, rights and privileges, boom, gone. Like that. And this person's like, wait, what? No, I just made a mistake. There are no, oh, I just made a mistakes. You mean that mistake that could have taken somebody's fucking life and you intended it to? Yeah, that wasn't a mistake. That was a failure, bitch. That was a failure to execute another person. And that's what this person is facing. Not only failure to execute somebody, but also that they should have never been trying to do that in the first place. They're just thinking, oh, this backfire will go away in a couple of days. No, it won't. They wanted you condemned for life and beyond. What they want for you will happen to them because that's what they put out into the universe. That's what they focused on. And that's what they're most afraid of, is their magic backfiring on them. This is why witches and warlocks do not want you to know that that magic is real. Because if you check for it, you can send it back to them. And then what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Try to do a return to sender? It didn't originate from you. So the universal law says, you know, energy can't be created nor destroyed. It can just be manipulated. And the universal law is not stupid. It knows who is who and what is what. I don't know why people think that there is no higher power, that, you know, that everything in the cosmos is stupid. There are angels that the entirety of their body is an eyeball. If the people think that they're not being seen for who they are, when there's beings that literally are only eyeballs with like spinning wheels around them with more eyeballs, I'm serious. Like everything is being watched. The hell? Obviously. The fact that this planet has not completely gone up into smoke and flames and been annihilated totally shows that God is real. There's miracles happening every day. People just need to be able to see and know what it is when it happens. And some people will be like, damn, you know, that's so unfortunate for that group of people. Or they'll be like, dang, I wonder why they didn't get saved. I wonder why. What were they doing? What were they engaging in? What were they believing that caused such a tragedy? What were they doing to others to cause a tragedy to them? I don't know why some people won't just like leave others alone. That'd probably be the most easy thing to do, is just leave people alone. That way you don't ever have to fuck around and find out that God is real and that literally divine protection is real and that karma is real. Like this person didn't think that fire was hot, didn't think that water was wet. The strength. And oh, I love that. I love that lion's face. That is so freaking cute to me. Oh my gosh. I love that. Look, you are so strong. You are so powerful. Your projects are so powerful. You're so influential. You just need to know your strength and know your power and know that you have everything on your side. Like this person can't turn nature against you. They also can't send death to you. That's something they already tried. Whatever they're doing now is all in vain. It's all going to end in a disaster that happens to them and their children. Knight of Cups. And this person is such a desperate hoe. They want to be loved so bad, but they're not going to get any love. Like, I'm serious. This baby daddy of whatever child they have does not give a fuck about them. I literally get that every man that gets with this high priestess in the reverse, she does spell work on them, on those men, and those men end up hating her. This is probably the stupidest practitioner I've ever seen. Yeah, you could look at somebody's life and see if their shit's working or not. Obviously, this shit is not working. And this Knight of Cups, baby father to this high priestess, would be, cheers, let's have a toast to this bitch being dead. I'm serious. That's the way that they feel. Cheers. That's the way that they feel. The Empress. See, you're dealing with somebody that knows that you're able to, you know, reproduce, to have a life, to make things grow, to be very fertile. And they don't like that, how strong you are. They also don't like that people listen to you and that you can lead others. This person feels like everybody should be up under their spell. No. Weird ass hoe. Go back from whence you came. That's what I would say to this person. I would say, no, absolutely not. Go back from wherever you came from. Go back there. Get the fuck out. I would be like, get out. Literally. That's what this Knight of Cups wants to say to her. Get the fuck out. But, you know, this Knight of Cups energy and whoever else she sleeps with are kind of afraid of her. They're playing with fire themselves. They don't believe fire is hot. They don't believe this person's going to put spell work on them. That's delusional. They see this person every day doing spell work on others. Why would they think that they are the exception? And why would they think that this high priestess in the reverse has even the capacity or capability within their heart to love? That's what I want to know. That's how I know this is all about sex. Ace of Pentacles. And you're over here with the moolah. God supporting you. It working out no matter what. You being very abundant. This person's like, well, I can be abundant too. Let me go have another baby daddy. Let me find another person to suck and leech off of. This person is a parasitic entity. They don't know better though. That's all they know. That's all they've ever learned. That's what they saw their mother do. That's what they know, is to be a parasitic, disgusting fucking leech. 5 of Wands. And all they know is competition. This person's not your competition. Your dragon's going to smite their ass. Just light them up with fire. I'm serious. This person has tried to get so much commotion in the spiritual realm to make you compete with them. Compete for what? You don't want this Knight of Cups energy, nor this person's child, nor whatever the fuck they have going on. I would be like, whatever you got, I don't want it. Please stay out. Keep that shit in another country. Keep it away and away from our people and out of here. Literally, this person is sitting around waiting for you to just be destroyed because they feel like the Seven of Pentacles, that they're just sitting around waiting for you to be destroyed. This person's waiting for the devil. The devil's not even going to show up. I guarantee the devil most likely lied, probably won't even show up to this shit. The Tower. And this person is going to be wham, wham, wham all the way home, crying their little butt off. I would be like, go tell your fucking mom about it, bitch. Go whine to your mother why you're such a loser. Go tell your ex, all these other people that you have manipulated and dominated with witchery. Go fucking tell them. The people that you have forced, absolutely forced, by using blackmail, extortion, or some other type of weapon, you force them to care about you, or guilt. You know what I'm saying? This person needs to go away. The Emperor. Because you have something that's working for you. People are working for you. You could be starting a business with people actually working for you. Like, these people think that they can just come in between you and a love union. And in what world? The person that you're with or the one that you're going to be with will never cheat on you. And they won't ever look in this person's direction. I don't care how much witchery they send. This person just wants to feel like significant in some type of way. Oh, they're about to. They're about to feel what it's like to be put in the tower and to be made completely vulnerable. Because they wanted to cook up all this competition for what? When you don't want this person's man, you don't want the people they've been with, you don't want their journey, you don't want their energy, you don't want anything from this person, you don't want their child, you want nothing from them. So why do they think that you are such a problem when you don't want them at all? Maybe is that the problem? I mean, you're dealing with a psychopath. This person should not be doing anything for anyone. They need to go heal. Knight of Wands. You don't want these stupid energies. You're like, get the fuck out of here, Knight. I got an Emperor, biatch. I'm with the Emperor, biatch. I don't want this Knight energy. Go play with this hoe. You could take this one back. You know? Finders, keepers, losers, weepers. I did not find that one. That came out with this hoe. Okay? You don't want any sloppy seconds or whatever it is. These people, they would love to offer you something, but you're not in the accepting, receiving mode to lower vibrational bullshit. So you're not going to, and again, this person has put themselves in danger because they sleep with too many people. The Sun, and you're over here shining brightly, and it's got them pissed. They can't handle it. They can't handle seeing you in the limelight. They don't like your inner child. They want you to be utterly destroyed and distraught and feeling the way that they feel about life. You're over here healing your inner child. You're going to do right by your family and your children. You're not going to lead people to destruction. You're actually successful and abundant. These people are not. Three of Swords with the fairies again and stabbing in the back. This person wanted to, at the 16th birthday, she will prick her finger on some stupid shit. And it's not happening. Nope, absolutely not. Evil wishes and prayers, they go back to wherever they came from. And whatever these people wanted for us is for them. That's what God and Spirit and Universe has for them, what they wanted for us. And then what we want for them, I'm cool with, I have no problem accepting what I want for another person for myself, because I want good for everybody. Even people like this. You know what I mean? I want everybody to go through an awakening. Knight of Swords. Another energy you don't even care about. You don't need to be protected. This person does. They don't have protection in the physical or the spirit, and they're about to be betrayed by everyone they call a lover because they were trying to put these people up under This high priestess was trying to put everybody, even her own child, up under some type of illusion. And that's just not cool. You don't do that to the people that you love if you say that you love them. Ace of Wands. And, you know, everything that you plant, everything that you put into motion continues to grow. This is what these people don't understand, is that there's no amount of effort that they could use against you that's going to stop you from doing what you came here to do. And nobody can just dictate what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do unless they're the government, and whatever government you belong to is not going to try to dictate your life like that, because they don't have the power to. They can't force you to believe or not believe in whatever this is. Page of Swords. So all they can do is watch from the sidelines, by the way. This person thought that they were in the race with you, and you're not even like at the Olympics. You're not even racing. Oh, they didn't come to this event? No, bitch, there is no event. You are fighting against yourself. This is why do the shadow work is necessary. This person is actively watching and spying on you and trying to figure out what you're doing, because they do not have a 10 of Pentacles. This person has no influence, no importance. Nobody wants them. Nobody wants to be around them. They don't have a family, which is sad. They don't have, well, they got a family full of witch ass bitch hoes that are like that, just like her, but that's not a real family. This person can't even get a fucking animal to love them. I bet you a lot. And then karma in the fucking reverse, that's no bueno. This is not even a part of the regular tarot. This is one that they added, but it flew out in the reverse. Karma in the reverse. Like what? Yo, this person has got bad karma. All they can see is that they have very bad karma from whatever this is that they were trying to do. And all it did was bless you and propel you. So I feel like you have nothing to be worried about. Okay, let's get an outcome. We obviously know this person's karma, these people's karma is going to destroy them. They're not going to have a place to live. The world doesn't want them anywhere. I'm serious. If this is like some type of group of people wanting to impose themselves on another country, no, this country is not going to play this fucking game that they're playing. This country is not going to play this shit. Whatever country they're trying to infiltrate is not going to play that shit. Okay? And cares about its own citizens. Seriously. I literally saw this video of this guy that, this is pathetic, that he abducted a 12-year-old girl, abducted her, and then straight up hard raped her, okay? And not only that, he got, when he went to court, he had his Islamic community write a letter to the courts asking for leniency because this person is accustomed to whatever happens in Somalia, and that's completely legal there, and so he didn't know. I'm sorry, but once you do shit like that, like this is why people should stay wherever the fuck they come from and stay over there. It's better for them, because that person will absolutely be prosecuted. They'll be lucky if they even get to go to jail, and that they don't get unalived by somebody that loves that little girl. You know what I mean? Like they're putting themselves in danger. Why would anybody even think that it's acceptable to do that to a 12-year-old child? And these people want to argue with us and say that this is the culture we need to accept. No. When is pedophilia ever going to be what we need to accept? Absolutely not. Exactly. These cards that just fell. The world. They want the world to accept pedophilia, unalivings, treating women worse than animals, taking them off of the chain of command, putting them below animals, making them objects and possessions, allowing people to beat and abuse others. And then if you try to leave this dangerous ass cult, they fucking kill you. That is not acceptable. Not in this world, not in this planet, not in this country. People that want to do that type of shit need to stay wherever fucked up place that they are. And then they need to just be happy with that and understand why they're getting bombed and fucking destroyed is because of shit like that. And it's it's a whole lot more than just that, but it is basically things like that and other things that are worse, you know? You can't act like a heiress or a tyrant to somebody else and think that you can just go into anybody else's territory and do whatever it is that you want to do. That is narcissistic. And these people are finding out. Three of Pentacles. Yeah, you have a community to help and you're actually needed. What do the world and its community needs your light and needs your assistance, your guidance, your art, your acting, your impression, your input. When you have all of these people that are completely uneducated, and I'm not going to say that these millennial liberals are uneducated because they obviously are in college, but when it comes to real life situations and the world and how things actually are and how things function, they do not know what the fuck they're talking about or even what they're doing, because they'll be agreeing with this type of shit, completely blank out agreeing with that just because they don't like the president at the time, the beauty standard at the time, the whatever it is, whatever law it is. And I'm like getting that if they once they become older, they'll get out of that energy, most of them, because it is a form of psychosis. They'll get out of that energy and be like, okay, no, I want what's best for all people, not just what I think is appropriate or inappropriate. It's like, Five of Cups. They're going to be in regret for all the time that they wasted and all the milk that was spilled and all the endings and stuff. But like I said, if they want to stay in that mentality of thinking that, doing horrible, horrific, unspeakable, unfathomable crimes to others, either in the spirit or the physical, is what the divine wants, then they need to stay wherever they are, because these people deep down, they know that they're in self-destruct mode. They know that these organizations that they belong to are full of fucking shit and that they're all going to destroy themselves, literally, because they are, if it's a heiristic nation, what do you think if they're all about heiristicness and being heiress to everybody, anybody that's not a part of them that is an infidel and they are allowed to use terrorism against them? Okay, if that's what they believe, they need to stay wherever they're at, because if they ever come over here on our side of the fence and start to act like that, they're going to get really, with the Chariot being the second card, they're going to get swooped up real quick for actually being a real fucking threat. And this is why I feel like people should stop playing. They should stop playing games like this. These people know why their country is being destroyed. They know why they're being bombed. They know why their organization's being destroyed from within, where they're bowing down and worshiping bullshit, cardboard images and other things. They should know damn well why they're being destroyed. And it's because of their own hands. They're creating their own reality. We're not over here creating their reality, regardless of how much resources each country has. We don't create the reality of that other country. They do. And that's on them. They can't come over here on that shit. It's not going to be allowed. The world does not like negativity. The energy of the planet is stable in itself. Even though there's negativity happening, the world can cope. But the world will cope by sending natural disasters and by allowing atrocities to happen. And this is why these types of situations just shouldn't occur. They shouldn't be spying on us. They know damn well that we're going to do whatever we need to do to protect our people, no matter what. And if they want to pose a threat, then they're going to eliminate themselves. Because if they're a threat to us, they're also a threat to animals and probably children as well. And that's just shit that we don't play with. That's the fastest way to get very bad karma and to be not welcomed anywhere on the planet, is to abuse the innocent. Like, I'm serious. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants people that are like that. What country would want people that are in alignment with that? And if it is these other countries, then this is why they're imploding. And in this day and age, they're going to have to give up. Okay? They're going to have to give up. I mean, they don't have to. They're going to wipe themselves out either way. Magician, because there's nothing that they can do with any type of magic book. They don't have in their possession. These people do not possess higher knowledge. They do not possess anything that they can actually use against another person in the spirit to make things happen. They don't possess knowledge, gifts, insight, nothing. Obviously, if they had knowledge, gifts, and insight, do you think that they would be attracting all this bad karma and doing all this bad shit and destroying themselves? If they were aware in any type of way and in their power, they would not be doing this stuff. And they think that women, I don't give a fuck what they think about women. They need to get over it. And excuse my language, I don't care what they think about us. Women, men, Americans, white, black, whatever. I don't care what these people are thinking about us. Whatever it is that's derogatory, it's inaccurate. And they're being shown that. And that's why they're being wiped out. They can't deny that. They can't deny that they have not made any mistakes. All of us have made mistakes, but these people are making mistakes that will destroy their life, their life that they're living now. I don't care about a future life. These people are destroying the life that they have now. They're allowing it to be destroyed by engaging in low vibrational behavior. 7 of Swords that they're going to run from in the future and just going to be like, oh, I got this. I'll just, repent and ask for forgiveness. Okay, that's fine and dandy, but does that stop the negative reaction that the universe has when the universal laws are broken and bad things are done and debt needs to be balanced? Does that stop justice? No, it does not. Does a fucking letter excusing somebody's behavior because they didn't know it was unacceptable to assault an underage child, does a fucking letter excuse their behavior? No, it does not. Not in any type of way. Page of Cups, because they should be respecting the innocent and respecting, they can't even respect themselves. How are they going to be able to respect anybody else? They don't respect themselves or their own government. They don't respect anyone. They don't respect children. They look at children like toys. That's disgusting. We over here, we protect children, point blank, period. And we will continue to. We will continue to seek justice against anybody that is going to play games and think that it's acceptable to be a terroristic fuckhead to others. You can't do that. You just can't treat people a certain type of way. And you guys know that. You know that any type of behavior like this directed towards you, you are safe. You're protected. You're the one that's standing in your power. I feel like all of this dark high priestess stuff is just an illusion. You see through this person. You're not going to allow them to overstep a boundary or to take anything from you. I think that if you have to defend yourself, do so, but don't do it on the offense to where, just know that these people will self-implode and self-destruct. That is the path that they're on. There's nothing that anyone really needs to do about that. These people will destroy themselves. But what they're not going to do is destroy everybody else and the world too in the process. And we are doing everything as a human race to keep that from happening, to keep a cataclysmic event from occurring. Okay, 8 of Wands. And these people are at a crossroads. Now they need a new home because the one that they had was destroyed. Well, I guess they shouldn't have done all that bad shit. They have bad karma. I don't want them coming anywhere near us with this bad karma. They need to go back to whatever devil they serve and ask for something else. I don't know. I don't know what their answer to their problem is, but I can tell you that them thinking that they can use God against you is not going to work. Justice. This is the answer. How about justice for women, for children, for vulnerable people, for people that can't fight for themselves? How about justice? How about justice for innocent children? How about that? What is so wrong with that? Why do these people feel the need to oppress and suppress justice for children? What is so sick in their mind that makes them feel like this shit is acceptable? That they can write please excuse my behavior letter after doing a brutal attack and assault on an innocent child? What part of these people's minds makes them think that that is okay? That's not okay. And I would never even ever, if I knew what somebody did that, I would never write a fucking, oh, please excuse them letter. The hell? And that in itself would bring about negative karma. Temperance. See, you have Archangel Michael here balancing things out, keeping this rainbow going and keeping your happiness with you. These people, all they can do is threaten you, and all they, they're just bullies. They're monsters. Their belief system has turned them into something that is no longer recognizable as human. That is why Archangel Michael is showing up, and that is why Archangel Michael and the angels will continue to create justice for you, because you are worthy of it. And for the children, all the children should have justice. I don't care what these predators think. They need to go deal with the bad karma that they created from being monstrous people, from allowing themselves to become obviously either possessed or under the influence of something that is not for anybody's highest and best good. They also have to answer to a higher authority called like police, FBI, whatever else there is that exists out there. Six of Pentacles. And these people are basically focused upon abusing children and getting money to do so. Being creeps. That's what their main focus is. To turn everybody that is not a part of their disgusting organization, to turn them either into being an abuse victim or being an abuser. That's what these people do. That's what their religious dogma is. That's what their culture is. They sacrifice others and they don't give a fuck about who it is. And this, we know, can lead to very bad mistakes. The people that crucified Christ, do you think that they were forgiven? No. If you find out what those people went through after they did what they did, you can see that they lived a very long, treacherous ass life. These people think that they can just sacrifice any person at any given time because their belief says so. I don't care what their belief is, whatever book they read from. If their book enables child abuse and stuff like that and abuse on others, then their book is not shit. Okay? And they know that. Their prophet, it says, even in their fucking book, it straight up says their prophet will die of cutting off of the aorta if it's a false prophet. And that is exactly how he died. Literally. Not Jesus, but Muhammad died cutting off of the aorta. And it says in the book, if it will be proven that he is a false prophet. And Muhammad admitted to channeling messages from Satan to get people to convert to Islam. He admitted that. Not my words, his. Literally. That I could never knowingly translate something from that's evil from the devil and think that there would be good that come from that. That goes against everything that's good. And marrying a 9-year-old and deflowering a 9-year-old, just because it's in the constitution of marriage, that to me is unacceptable. And so that's what they're looking up to. That's their version of Jesus, and that's what they're looking up to and praising. Okay, so you just have to forgive these people and whatever cult they belong to. 4 of Cups, because they're bored. These people are going to destroy themselves. They're looking for a new home, and it's not going to be with us. 2 of Swords. They don't have to go back from where they came from, but they can't stay here. They're blocked. What else do we need to know? Yeah, you're free to move forward. You're free to move on. You're free to live your life. Don't be afraid. Don't live in fear. Just be somebody that is going to be of support to others. And I feel like you're going to do great. I feel like you're going to do so much better than great. 7 of Wands. Even if you have to defend yourself, defending you and defending your children, again, and serving justice should be the #1 priority in your life personally and then in the life of the general public. It should be not defending to the detriment of others. You only have to raise your wand if other wands come at you. And that's just self-defense. That's what the 7 of Wands is you defending yourself abundantly. That could be standing up for yourself. That could be saying no to whatever this imposed belief system is, whatever it is, you know. These people act like you're the rebellion like everybody else is the rebellers, right? That's what they're acting like. They're behaving like we are the ones rebelling when these people are doing exactly what the higher power does not want to see, does not want to be done. And they act like we're rebelling. How are we rebelling? By saying no. You can't have my 12-year-old child to do whatever the fuck you want with legally. You're going to have to go to court and go to prison and pay for that shit. I would be like, absolutely no, you're not touching our children. Stay out. Go somewhere else. Go to Antarctica. Shit. I would send these people to Antarctica. Two of Wands. They're looking where they can go so they can go expand this group that's going to self-implode upon itself once everybody awakens to the truth and realizes what they've done. I'm serious. Then they're going to be real regretful and remorseful, and they're not going to be a nation, and they're not going to be a country no more, and they're not going to be a united people, because all of them will realize that what they did was so against higher self, God, and the divine realm that it's basically condemnable. And you're moving forward looking at the world like your oyster, and you're not going to sacrifice for anybody. No, it's your time to shine. People need to know you so that they can understand what freedom looks like. The high priest. And it doesn't matter what these people put into motion, they're going to be regretting it. Because guess what? Just like this person's doing the as above, the high priest is like as above, so below, bitch. That means anything that these people are doing, it's going to happen as above, so below for them. And your ability to be a high priest overrides their ability with any type of book that they have or whatever they're worshiping. These are people that want war. You don't want war. You want peace. Eight of Pentacles. These people want you to stop working and pay attention to them. But you've got this beautiful raven here watching over you, making sure that you can, it could literally be one of Odin's ravens. You have a spirit totem animal energy watching over you at all times, making sure that you stay on task. So I feel like you don't really have anything to worry about. What you write is going to inspire others. Think about it. The only reason that the holy books are the holy books is because those were the ones that ended up being preserved. All of the other writings and teachings, especially the stuff that Jesus actually taught, nobody wrote that shit down, and he didn't write either. King of Wands. These people are playing games with the wrong person and with the wrong organization, with the wrong country, with the wrong type of people. Okay. What else do we need to know? King of Cups. They will be advised, to simmer down here, take several seats, stop thinking that you can just do whatever you want to whoever you want, wherever you want, whenever you want, without any type of consequence. Because guess what? Even though they allow it, and in their country, in their part of the world, they support it, and they are bigots and hypocrites and liars and thieves and errorists and unalivers, even though they do that there, it's not allowed here. It's not. Wherever here is for you, it's not allowed. We would never hurt anybody. This is why God has given us power. These people don't have any power because they're over here trying to abuse the power that they don't even have. And I think that's funny. Like somebody sits around literally trying to use things that they think are powerful, and they don't even have the power to abuse it because it's already been stripped, and it would never have been given to these people because God always knows everything before it happens and knows everything that's going on. That's why we have extra protection. This is why the world is not imploded on itself. Because if people like this ever got in power, they would destroy the planet and everything on it. And then they wouldn't be able to blame it on the giants this time. Oh, we can't blame the Nephilim or the giants this time. Let's make up another story, another holy book. Let's make up something else. Like, seriously. These people just don't want to be held accountable, and they are. Four of Swords. It's an end of a fight. These people are at the end of their road. I don't care, what they're on, what type of shit they're on. We're not going to bend to that. And if any state ends up doing that, they will become an independent state, and then all the rest of the states will be against them. So these people really need to think before they act and stop trying to organize, people together to get them to go against God's will, which is for people to live and joy and happiness and children to not be abused and stuff like that. Like not going against, if they say that this is a Christian nation, not going against Christ's wishes. Christ is going to be the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Christ does not want any evil happening, does not want abuse happening, does not want pedophilia or sadism or unaliving or heirist or none of that. And that's what the majority of the people subscribe to in this land and in a lot of lands. Okay. And it goes against the wishes of our divine being, okay, called Jesus. King of Swords. These people will be judged very harshly, not according to their laws or their, record of things. They're going to be judged by what actually was done. And they want to create illusions about that because they're stuck in their shadow side and they can't grow as a human race or a species. They have to degrade children and women and belittle them and abuse them and torment them and torture them into staying in their false organization, worshiping idols, kids walking around kissing rocks. There's nothing wrong with crystals, but stop worshiping rocks. Stop treating people bad. How about that? The wheel of the year. The wheel of the year is yours. I think that's what you need to know, is that these people, they need serious help. And I don't know what could fix it other than God. So this is why we just give people to God, because God can fix it. It's too much for me. I can't even deal with it at all. You have the wheel of the year, which means the year is going to go in your favor this year, next year, every year, because you do the right thing. You don't abuse power. You don't victimize others. You don't leave a trail of bodies behind you after you snatch someone's personality and move on. You don't do any of that. This is why you will be on top in the future, winning. And these people are still going to hate everybody and everything. Okay? That's not under their thumb. That's not going to change. But what will change is their accessibility, and they won't have a home to live in, because it's a very big sign that the divine doesn't want them doing what they do if they don't have a place to live. Okay? And they get forced to go back. Yeah. Because Queen of Swords, we're not putting up with that crap. The women have been through enough. This is a time for the divine feminine to come back to this planet, and the divinity to fill this planet with love, and for everyone to grow. And we will cut nations off. We will cut off people. We will cut off fucking limbs if they go against us and go against what's just, right, holy, and true. And we will have no problem defending our good fortune and our fate and our honor and our peace and our love and our community and our families. Okay? The Hermit. We have no problem isolating and building fucking walls if we have to. We will isolate from everybody else that's not for our highest and best good, that doesn't have the interests of our nation, of our people, of our citizens, of our children in their mind. We will isolate from those people, and they will be alone in the dark. And they will be wounded, trying to defend their point of view. Against what? We don't fight them. The divine does. Four of Pentacles, because they can't have our lucky charms. They don't belong here. They don't have roots here. They'd have to establish roots, and there are no roots. There's no tree that's going to be built off of this type of crap. Nature doesn't form itself around evil. If we as a collective choose to do what's right, these people can't do anything about that. Three of Wands. We're looking to the future. We have foresight. We can see what's going to happen tomorrow and the next day if we continue down this path, and we choose to do what's right because it feels good and it's in alignment with our higher selves. That's why. This is why we continue to look ahead, and we make educated decisions on what we've seen the patterns to have already be or have been. And that's called using common sense and logic. And yes, we do have a higher commitment with a higher power, and we do recognize love and we acknowledge it. And we also respect free will. We also respect people's bodies and their minds and their hearts and their souls. And that's not going to change. This is why we'll always have the limelight and people will always be focused on us becoming us or attaining what we have, because they come from a place of never being able to have that because of what they practice. And if what they practice hurts and harms others, then it's not for the highest and best good of all. And that means it's a self-centered agenda that's based upon bigotry and hypocrisy. Because these people would be upset if we did to them what they want to do to us. And we would never do that because we're not evil people, but they don't need to be playing games in our faces and tempting us. Don't tempt us, because we are loved. The divine has an overflowing cup of love for us. We are cherished. We share this cup of love with our children, with our family members, and with our community, and we back each other up. That's what they don't understand. This overflowing cup of love is not because we have money as a nation. It's because we have God. And some people don't even know that they're tapped into God, but they're just doing things that are in alignment. All right, 6 of Cups. Look, we're protecting the children. These other people, they don't care about that. They want our children. They would love to do things to our children that they're not allowed to do. We are putting that wall up. We are protecting. And again, the wall is like what's happening in the physical, but in the spiritual, there's a lot more going on here that can't be seen. Look, I'm actually seeing a wall in the background right there. Look at that wall in the background. Like literally, there is so much going on here that is not seen when it comes to children, and children are our greatest possession. They're not even our possession, but they're our greatest prize, reward, gift, blessing, however you want to look at it. You know, they're our future. That is what is the most important. You know what I'm saying? So you're doing the right thing. You continue to stand up for yourself, stand up for your beliefs. Again, if you find out that a belief is not serving you, do something to release it and create, a new pathway by affirming something good. I would be focusing on world peace and how your personal influence. This is why you have this guardian spirit here to keep you on task, because the world is a distraction. Everything in the world was meant to distract you from you going within and accessing God. Once you tap out of the matrix and tap into God, you have broken free, and then you can set everyone else free. Just imagine, had you known this when you were younger, how your life would be different. But I would just be thankful for how it turned out, because the way that it looks, you have everything that you need and more, and some extra. And things may be tough from time to time. They may be scarce. They may be difficult. They may be a struggle, but they're a lot better than what other people have. Okay. And so we just need to put it into perspective, like what we have compared to what others have and don't have, and the way they have to live their life stuck in their shadow side. Can't even look into the light. These people are so scared. And I just noticed this person in the background. What the hell is that? What is that? A throne? What is that? No, that's death. That's the Grim Reaper in the background. I thought it was a chair at first. Yo. All of these illusions. This image of this guy gives me like, no. I'm serious. These people, they just need to like literally wake the F up, because if they don't wake up soon and realize that what they've been doing is not in alignment with the higher self and with a highest and best good of all, if they don't wake up soon, it's going to be the end of them. And that's not going to be by our knife, by our sword. It's going to be by them doing it to themselves. They should be monitoring how many cousins get married to each other, because that's going to be the undoing of their organization, of all of it, of all of these people that do not care for others. I feel like we're not worried about being invaded. If people try to come in and invade our space with this dumb shit, they're going to take themselves out. Like seriously, karma's going to do what karma does best, and karma. Karma's going to karmicking these people. And it's unfortunate for their children. Their children should not be raised thinking that abuse is acceptable, or even being raised in a situation where abuse is okay. Because those are patterns that do repeat itself, but not here. Nope, not today, Satan. I would say absolutely not. Again, continue to pray, you guys. You're doing really good. God is so supportive. God is so loving of you. We're not perfect people, but we're working towards becoming more of our higher self, which is love, unconditional love, compassion, joy, and peace. And that's all we can do, is know who we are as God and grow in the consciousness and awareness of that, just like what Jesus did. Communicate with our higher self, go within, meditate, search for the answers. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it. If a place doesn't feel good, don't go there, mentally and physically, okay? And do your research when it comes to certain types of things, especially if you take a trip or a vacation, or you go outside of what your norm is. Just do a little bit of preparation and research and ask, should I be going here? Should I be going there? Should I be doing this? These other people, they literally, their mythology or their way of thinking is don't ask questions because you may not like the answer. That's what they say. Nah, I'd rather be a nation of rebellion where we ask questions and do not blindly just follow whatever has been, stated for us. Like, that's crazy. All right, you guys, thank you for making it to the ending of the reading. Remember, the Truth of God is an intuitive living workbook. When you see me asking yes and no questions, I'm using the technique from this book. When you see me doing a compatibility of 1 to 10, I'm using the technique from this book. Let's see. When you see me doing the God technique and rising above it, sometimes I just have to go within and rise above it, or look off to the corner. Sometimes I have to get up and walk away, but either way, I'm using the God technique, which changes my frequency. This book is like me throwing you a bone. It's a spiritual cheat code basically to the universe, to creating your reality and getting things going in a positive direction. And so if you want to know more about that book, go to the beginning of this reading, because I go into more depth about it. Also, the other book that's in the description box below is Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. For those of you that do want to learn to read cards for yourself and for others, I have both the original Rider-Waite deck and this book in the description box below. If you learn off of this deck, you can go to any specialty deck like the one that we use today, and you will know what the cards mean. And so you'll know the original interpretation when they give you the abstract picture. But both of those books, you guys, take some time and invest. If you're interested, go back to the beginning of this reading where I read from it and I explain it all. I'm not going to just do it both times, but because you guys can just go right back to the beginning. But I love you guys so much. Peace be with you. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you. Know that I'm proud of you. Know that God's proud of you. And things are going to get really good. Things are going to become way better than you even imagined. All right. So release those beliefs. I love you guys. Kisses, hugs. All right. Peace be with you. I'll see you in the next one. Okay. Bye.